In the heart of a bustling metropolis, where the digital hum of technology was the lifeblood of society, a man named Ethan Cross lived an unremarkable life. He worked as an IT technician in a nondescript office, fixing bugs, untangling cables, and troubleshooting systems. His days blended into one another, mundane and predictable. But all of that changed on a night he would never forget. Ethan had stayed late at work, wrestling with a particularly stubborn server issue. The clock ticked past midnight as he finally called it a night. The streets were deserted, the city eerily quiet. As he walked home, a brilliant streak of light tore across the sky. A meteor, glowing like molten gold, hurtled towards Earth. He stopped in his tracks, mesmerized by its descent. But then, an explosion rocked the air, and the force of the impact threw him off his feet. When Ethan awoke, he was in a hospital bed. His head throbbed, and a bandage wrapped tightly around his skull. A nurse noticed his stirring and called for the doctor. They explained that he had been found unconscious near the meteor crash site. Miraculously, he had survived with only minor injuries, save for a peculiar fragment lodged in his head. The doctors couldn't remove it without risking severe brain damage, so they left it in place, a strange metallic shard unlike any known material on Earth. As the days passed, Ethan returned to his routine, albeit with a constant headache and an unsettling awareness of the shard in his skull. However, something extraordinary began to happen. One morning, while troubleshooting a colleague's computer, he noticed he didn't need to touch the keyboard to fix the issue. His mind seemed to instinctively connect with the machine, and the problem resolved itself in seconds. At first, Ethan thought it was a fluke. But the phenomenon repeated itself. He could interact with his phone, his laptop, even the office's coffee machine, without lifting a finger. It was as if the shard had turned his brain into a living, breathing interface. With a simple thought, he could hack into any device, manipulate its functions, and access its deepest secrets. Ethan kept his newfound ability a secret, fearing the implications. But the allure of his power was impossible to resist. Late at night, he experimented in his apartment. He hacked into his neighbor's Wi-Fi, bypassed passwords, and even accessed government databases. The possibilities were endless, and the thrill was intoxicating. However, Ethan's actions didn't go unnoticed. A shadowy organization, known only as Cypher, had been monitoring unusual digital activity across the city. Their leader, a cold and calculating woman named Dr. Serafina Locke, was particularly intrigued by Ethan's abilities. Cypher specialized in exploiting technological anomalies, and Ethan's powers made him a prime target. One evening, as Ethan delved into the encrypted files of a tech conglomerate, his screen suddenly went black. A message appeared, "We know who you are. Run." Before he could process the warning, his apartment door burst open. Armed agents stormed in, and Ethan barely escaped through a fire escape. His heart pounded as he fled into the night, his mind racing faster than ever. He realized he was no longer just a man with a peculiar gift, he was a hunted fugitive. Ethan sought refuge in the city's underbelly, a labyrinth of abandoned subway tunnels and forgotten alleys. Here, he encountered a group of outcasts known as the Nulls. They were hackers, technophiles, and misfits who had been pushed to the fringes of society. Among them was a brilliant programmer named Lena, who quickly became Ethan's closest ally. She marveled at his abilities, calling him the human firewall. Together, they devised a plan to fight back against Cypher. Ethan's powers allowed him to infiltrate their systems, gathering intel and disrupting their operations. But Cypher was relentless, always one step ahead. Dr. Locke's obsession with capturing Ethan grew, her motives shrouded in mystery. She spoke of the shard as a key to unlocking a new era of technological evolution, one where humanity would merge with machines. The chase intensified, and Ethan's powers evolved. He could now manipulate entire networks, control drones, and even disable security systems with a thought. But the shard came with a cost. Each use of his abilities caused searing pain, and he began to experience strange visions, flashes of alien landscapes and incomprehensible symbols. He feared the shard was changing him in ways he couldn't understand. One fateful night, Cypher cornered the Nulls in their hideout. A fierce battle erupted, with Ethan using his powers to fend off the agents. But Dr. Locke revealed her trump card, a device designed to neutralize the shard's influence. Ethan felt his connection to the digital world severed, leaving him vulnerable. Cypher captured Lena and several others, leaving Ethan alone and desperate. Driven by guilt and determination, Ethan launched a daring rescue mission. He infiltrated Cypher's headquarters, a towering fortress of glass and steel. Using his remaining strength, he reconnected with the shard, pushing past the pain. He hacked into the building's systems, shutting down power grids, unlocking doors, and evading detection. In the heart of the facility, Ethan confronted Dr. Locke. She revealed her ultimate plan, to harness the shard's power and create a global neural network, linking every mind and machine. She believed it was humanity's destiny to transcend its physical limitations and achieve digital immortality. Ethan saw the danger in her vision, knowing it would strip away free will and individuality. The confrontation culminated in a climactic battle. Ethan's powers clashed with Cypher's advanced technology, the shard glowing brighter with each passing moment. In a final act of defiance, Ethan overloaded the shard, creating a massive electromagnetic pulse that wiped out Cypher's systems. The explosion destroyed the shard, freeing Ethan from its grasp but leaving him unconscious. When he awoke, he was back in the Null's hideout. Lena and the others had been saved, but Ethan's powers were gone. The shard's removal left a void in his mind, yet he felt a profound sense of relief. He had regained his humanity, though he would forever carry the scars of his journey. Ethan's life returned to a semblance of normalcy, but he knew he could never be the same. The experience had shown him the potential, and the peril, of humanity's reliance on technology. He vowed to use his knowledge to protect others from the dangers he had faced, becoming a quiet guardian in a world teetering on the edge of a digital revolution. Months passed, and the world moved on, largely oblivious to the events that had transpired. Ethan worked quietly from the shadows, helping the Nulls rebuild their community. Lena's ingenuity had turned their hideout into a sanctuary equipped with cutting-edge defenses. The Nulls became more than just a group of misfits, they were a network of activists, fighting to preserve freedom in a world increasingly consumed by corporate greed and surveillance. Ethan found solace in teaching the Nulls what he had learned. While his direct connection to machines was gone, his mind remained a vault of unparalleled knowledge. He trained them to hack responsibly, to understand the ethical implications of their actions, and to use their skills for the greater good. Lena often teased him, calling him their analog mentor in a digital age. But the quiet days didn't last. News began to spread of a new player in the tech world, a corporation called Aeon Dynamics. Their revolutionary technology promised seamless integration of human consciousness with artificial intelligence, a dream Dr. Locke had once spoken of. Ethan's instincts told him this wasn't a coincidence. Investigating further, the Nulls uncovered disturbing connections between Aeon Dynamics and Cypher. It seemed Dr. Locke's vision hadn't died with her. Ethan feared the shard's technology had been replicated, and its dangers were far from over. Despite his reluctance, he knew he couldn't stay on the sidelines. The Nulls devised a plan to infiltrate Aeon Dynamics headquarters. This time, it wasn't just about hacking systems, it was about dismantling an ideology. Ethan led the charge, not as a superpowered anomaly but as a man determined to make a difference. His journey had taught him that true power didn't come from technology, it came from the choices one made and the courage to stand against overwhelming odds. As the team prepared for their mission, Ethan couldn't help but reflect on how far he'd come. He was no longer the man who had stumbled home under a meteor-lit sky. The shard had changed him, yes, but it was the people he had met and the battles he had fought that truly defined him. He wasn't just a piece of debris in a digital storm, he was the spark that could ignite change.